Ed, he's lost his nerve. He's lost it. He doesn't have it anymore. But Ed would not back down. Ed said, getting to the top is optional, getting back down is mandatory. And at that point, I realized that he was indeed a hero. The same thing is true. Some of you will not be in a situation where you should be starting businesses. It's one of the reasons I don't like venture capital. I'm not a strong supporter of taking all your money, running down to Vegas, putting it on black, and spinning the roulette wheel. I personally didn't enter the world of entrepreneurship and I realized that I'm kind of a wimp. I had wobbly knees. I say I've always had fire in the belly, but not nerves of steel. I didn't enter the entrepreneurship world full scale until I paid off my home. That was the criteria to me that allowed me to get real comfortable of taking and assuming some of that risk. So as you go through your entrepreneur career, realize a lot of people will try working you into this emotional ladder of, go do it, let's get it, let's go do it, and risk and expose everything. I think that that's wrong. I think that you need to deliberately and carefully plan your assault up, get to the top. It's okay to fail, but if you're failing with $5,000 or $10,000, that's a lot different than going bankrupt, as the question was asked of me earlier. So getting to the top is optional, getting back down is mandatory. There's another story that I love to tell from my good friend Tim Dorje Sherpa. He told me this story about an incredible marathon runner. When you go into the Himalayas, once you get up about 12,000 feet, you can get what's called pulmonary edema and cerebral edema. It's literally where liquid fills your brain and your lungs, and more people die of that than any other thing in the mountains. He told me about this amazing marathon runner that was going to run from basically, go all the way from Kathmandu to the top of Gokyo in one day. That's the equivalent of going from sea level to the highest mountain in the continental United States in one day. Truly a remarkable feat. So off goes this marathon runner. He goes from Kathmandu to Lukla at 8,000 feet, runs past Tuk Tuk going strong, 9,500 feet, hits the valley moraine, passes the T-line, goes in and has a chocolate in Namche Bazaar, Kumjung 12,000 feet going strong, Timboche 13,000 feet. Unbelievable. He's 9,000 feet of altitude in one day. Past the prayer flags 14,000 feet, sees the yaks at 15,000 feet, hits the glacial moraine at 16,000 feet, 17,500 feet, he hits Gokyo. He hits his goal. Unbelievable, right? What do you think his reward was? He was dead the next morning. If you sacrifice your family, your friends, your health, your trust relationships in order for an entrepreneur to win, it's hollow. It's all meaningless. There's an element here of balancing your life. I call this climbing high and sleeping low. You have to push hard pushes high, and then you have to back off and acclimate, sleep low. Hard push, sleep low. So one of the questions that's always asked of me is where do you get all your great ideas? And this is what I say. How many of you think that getting a good idea is a hard thing? Okay, getting the hard idea, I would contend, particularly if you follow this recipe in the book, it's actually not the hard thing. The hard thing is that idea a good thing? First thing when we created the company, we got a whiteboard, we came up with 52 ideas in 3 hours. We then began to narrow it down. So how are some of the ways that you can generate ideas? The first is surround yourself with visionaries. You all have friends that have, wow, if this happened, or look, when this mobile device comes to do this, then this will happen. Surround yourself with them and go pick their brain. Very seldom do those people actually have long-scale entrepreneurial ability to execute. So surround yourself with visionaries. The second thing is take someone that's really smart in an industry, take them to lunch, pick their brain. Get a couple of great ideas from them. You know what, we're really happy to open up most of the time. The next one is every entrepreneur has to have a whiteboard. We create what we call the parking lot that we put all our great ideas on. But go just get on a whiteboard and start doodling out ideas and concepts and models, and just start doodling on a whiteboard, and ideas will start to flow. Capture the ideas as they come. So this is a key one. Oh, who is it? Bach. Anyone know exactly the piece? Very good. Beautiful, huh? Uninterruptible time. Do you feel yourself getting in the zone? You've got to provide yourself uninterruptible time. I wonder how well Michelangelo would have done if he had been signed up for the Friends and Family plan. Probably would have turned out a little different, don't you think? Go to conferences. Anytime I start a new business, the first thing I do is I go to a conference. That's what we did when we started this business. We took, of the $5,000, we took $3,500, got airline tickets, and booked ourselves into a conference. It turned out rather well for us. Look for industry trends, things that are taking place. Social patterns. We've talked a lot about that already. One of the places I love to go is called the Wizard Academy. I saw an amazing presentation down there talking about the trends, the 40-year swings that take place in society. We've been on a very, very me, individualistic society. We're now swinging back, and did you feel it? I mean, look what happened in the last presidential election. It was all about community, using the words we, and that's why social media is taking off so much. So look for social trends that are occurring. Right now probably wouldn't be a really good time to be starting a business that had to do with, I don't know. What? Yeah, VCRs. That's a good one, but I was thinking also, I personally think that a lot of the cosmetic surgery and stuff like that, that's very me. I think we're moving away from that to a more of a we community, and your generation is setting much of that trend. I love the concept of catching a wave. I don't have the discipline to stick around for 4 or 5 years like my peers. Most of the business I've been in are opportunistic. I get in waves. I look for trends and patterns. 3 years to me is like a lifetime. If I can't do a business in a year or two and have some success, I guess I got attention deficit disorder or something. But 3 to 5 years just blows me away. So I look for waves. I look for opportunities where this happens. I can jump on the head of a wave. Let that wave push me for a little ride. Now there's another side of the wave that's not fun, and it's when it crashes in over your head, so you got to get off the wave before it actually crashes in on you. The other thing that I do that I've already told you is I hang out with teenagers, and I sit with them and I watch them and I learn from them, and then try creating technologies or opportunities that takes advantage of the things that they teach to me. I'm also a firm believer. I'm a Christian, as you know. I'm a Mormon, and I'm proud of it. I truly believe in having a higher purpose and what we call the ask principle. Obviously, the book isn't just for Mormons. We released it generally. But we're really bold about ask, seek, and knock. And it doesn't matter what your source of enlightenment is. We encourage everyone to get it. I had a really amazing experience over in the Himalayas not long ago where I met with the High Lama of Pangboche called the Goshalee. And we had a wonderful exchange, a wonderful dialogue, and at the end he offered and asked to give me a blessing. And I accepted that blessing and was very grateful for it. And then he was equally shocked when I asked to give him a blessing. I don't think that had ever happened to him before, but I offered a prayer, gave him a blessing, and end of the day, 2 very different cultures, 2 very different belief systems, but the same result, enlightenment. And we all have to seek our source of knowledge and our source of truth. So the next concept I want to discuss is literally there are $100 bills laying all over the place. When you get in the right mindset, ideas and $100 bills are just laying all over the floor. The trick is learning how to pick them up and then picking up the good ones. So we talked earlier that getting the ideas is actually the easy part, and I believe that that's true. Your idea does not have to be perfect, but what it does have to do is pass some fundamental tests. Now, most ideas indeed will have some flaws and problems, and the trick is discovering what those are. So there's one section in the book that we call Power Tools that I really enjoy. This tool probably increased my probability of success more than any other tool that I've used. And so at the risk of going too long, let's see, we got 20 minutes, so I'm going to go for 10 more minutes. I'm going to do this really quickly. I want to take a business idea, and I want to quickly analyze it and give you an assessment of the probability of success on this thing. So does anyone have a business idea they want to throw out? Right back here. Just literally 1 minute, give it to me.
Yeah, I want to do a modification to a trailer so it's like a floating dock. You just put it right in the water. You put your jet skis or your boat there, it just floats.
Okay, so a trailer that you can pull on your car that then you take out and you just let it out in the water and then it can dock into that thing. Okay, so let's just go through this Porter model quickly. This was developed by Porter out of Harvard. I've dummied it down.